In Washington today, President Obama used his sharpest language yet as he repeated that he would use military force to stop Iran from building an atomic bomb, but only as a last resort. The president spoke ahead of an important meeting at the White House on Monday with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Norah O'Donnell is our chief White House correspondent at the White House tonight. Norah?
Scott, President Obama is trying to convince the Israeli leader that a pre-emptive strike is not the best option. He's also trying to convince the American public as well, telling a woman at a fundraiser last night that she was jumping the gun by thinking that war was imminent.
Nobody's announced a war, young lady, so... But we appreciate your sentiment.
In fact, Mr. Obama is trying to avoid a war, telling The Atlantic magazine he will try to persuade Netanyahu to postpone an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. At a time when there is not a lot of sympathy for Iran and its only real ally, Syria, is on the ropes, he said, do we want a distraction in which suddenly Iran can portray itself as the victim? The president wants to assure Israelis that a military option is on the table if sanctions fail. I think that the Israeli government recognizes that. As President of the United States, I don't bluff. For his part, the Israeli Prime Minister said today he will do what he deems necessary.
We reserve the right to defend ourselves against a country that calls and works for our destruction.
Veteran diplomat Dennis Ross is the former Middle East envoy. What do you think the president meant when he said, I don't bluff?
He thinks pretty carefully about his words, and when he chooses his words, they're by design. They're not by accident.
Meant to send assurances to the Israelis?
I think he meant to send a message to everybody, not just the Israelis.
And Scott, another message the president wants to send to world leaders is to stop buying Iran's oil, or the alternative could be what no one wants, a war in the Middle East.
Norah, thank you very much.